What's going on, guys? Liam here, and it's time to predict round 27 of the 2023 NRL season, and bit of a bittersweet round. I mean, we got some games that really mean something here, but could have been better. This is the round of the rest. Team lists are out, guys. We'll go through everyone that's in and out, everyone that's rested, all this sort of stuff, and just a little FYI. Anyone that follows my shorts and my TikTok and stuff like that, I'm probably not going to have a punt this weekend just because a lot of teams are fielding players I've never heard of, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's no form to go. It's just, like, a lot of the stats we're going to be looking at now, which we'll brush over, are just useless because half the players that put those stats up aren't playing, sort of thing. So I suggest you do the same too. Just enjoy the last round, and then we'll hit it hard finals time, and we'll get it good. So last year, I shine in the finals, man, just like the top players do. Last year, we actually only got one game wrong, which was the Bunny and the Roosters, and we predicted every game from there, and we won a lot of money. It was actually really, really good. Got robbed in the Clive Churchill. Clearly should have won that. But anyway, what do you do? So yeah, guys, we'll do our best here, but like I said, it's this is very unknown sort of territory, like especially like this first game, we don't really know, so we'll have to wait and see. Just want to give everyone a shout out too. We are at 2,700 now. I want to get to 3,000 before the end of the year, lads. So if you've been watching for a minute now and you're not subbed, drop that sub, man. It all helps, man. And let's get to 3,000. Like I said, I'm planning it now. A pretty good giveaway to launch the next year's NRL season, so it should be pretty damn good. And in the off season, we've obviously got internationals we can chat about, and I also love my NBA as well, so I might even do a few NBA videos too. But let's get into it. Broncos and Storm, two reserve grade teams playing each other. So what is it? The North Devils versus the Sunshine Coast. What are they called again? Whatevers. We have the Seagulls versus the Tigers, Bunnies versus the Roosters, Dolphins versus the Warriors, Penrith versus the Cowboys, Dragons versus the Knights, and Titans versus the Bulldogs, Sharks versus the Raiders. And I have some bad news on this one, guys. Corey Horsburgh has been suspended. He couldn't get off his charge, so unfortunately we're not going to get the Corey Horsburgh versus Royce Hunt battle that we were hoping for. If anyone followed that was it this year? Early this year? I think it was the end of last year. They had a bit of the tiff on the field and then started dropping some memes at each other, and it was pretty damn hilarious. And I circled this one. I'm like, oh, final round of the year, Horsburgh versus Royce Hunt. This is going to be awesome. And then Horsburgh goes and gets himself suspended. Come on, bro. Killing me, man. But nah, it's a bit of a bummer, but whatever. Still a huge game. All right, so the ladder, guys. So Broncos, Penrith, obviously primed 1 and 2. Home finals locked up. Warriors, Storm rounding out the top 4. And then Knights looking like 5th is all locked up. It isn't, though. Like, if Sharkies do win this, I mean, they... Oh, no, hang on. Yeah, if Sharks win and they lose that, they still get a home final. Okay, cool. That's why they're resting. But I was like, oh, geez, they could drop there a little bit. And then Rabbitohs and Raiders really fighting for their season. They've both sort of got to win. No, they both have to win. And then obviously Cowboys have to beat Penrith and Roosters have to beat the Bunnies. And we could see a little bit of... This is where the action is, guys, right here. Yeah, exciting. All right, so like I said, first game's a bit of a wash, guys. Everyone's been rested from both teams. I mean, look at these ins and outs. This is full teams things. And I was actually pretty lucky. I picked up Melbourne Storm at 4. And what was it? Let me check my bet slip. 4.45. Here in that Broncos might have some players out, and they've shortened right up. And the cash out now is where's my bet? Cash outs now. I put 1,000 down, 1,850, so I can actually make $850 before the game's even started, which is pretty awesome. But there's still good players in both teams. Sorry, guys, something in my throat. Tristan Sailor's always good to watch. Corey Oates, Jesse Arthurs. Jordan Pereira, he was really good last year. That's how good the Broncos have been. He hasn't been able to get a run. I've never seen this Josh Rogers guy before. Jock Madden's been pretty solid. And man, Melbourne Storm's back 5. It's still back 7. It's still pretty good. I mean, Paps, Warbrick, Olam, Tonamapia, Remy Smith, Jaden Nikorima. So Nikorima's brother. I don't know, older or younger. And then Wishart. I mean, still pretty handy. Like, if I bought tickets to this and I was going to watch it, I mean, obviously I'd rather the the mega clash, but you're still probably going to see some pretty good footy. I mean, Tarek Sims on Flegler, Smoothie, Bronson Garlick's been good, Tepai Morella's handy, Jensen, Pikora's pretty solid to watch, so Katoa's still there, so I think we're still going to have a pretty damn good game of rugby league, but it's just going to be, look at the benches even. You got Tapau, Xavier Wilson, Pakes in here, and Blake Moser. I haven't actually watched him play before, apparently he's a bit of a gun. Anthony Penne, good to see him back as well. So yeah, it's actually still a pretty solid game of league. It's more of a role players with a couple of really good players peppered in there sort of thing. So like I said, we won't really go over the team stats, guys, because they're just the teams that are playing didn't put these numbers up. Look, as far as tips go on this on it's so hard. We don't know. Like this could honestly be 40 points to Broncos, 8 points to Storm, or it could be the other way around, or it could be 24 to 22. It could be 8 to 12. Like, who really knows? Anyone that says they knows is probably just really good at guessing, sort of thing. So, one thing I do know is I'm so on the fence with this because I even though this isn't Melbourne's full strength team, I promise you, Bellyache is going to get his team up for this. And just even like Olam's 100% going to want to get his spot back. Pappenhausen's going to, he's going to be trying his ass off. And there's a lot of players in here that want spots in the finals, and I feel like there are plenty of spots up for grabs in the Melbourne team. Whereas the Broncos, I'm pretty sure most of these guys will not be playing in the finals. So I can actually think, and that's why I'm sort of leaning towards letting that Melbourne Storm bet ride because, man, Bellyache's so good against Brisbane. So good against Brisbane, man. Obviously, if they're both at full strength, Brisbane's been the far superior team this year. But, yeah, it's so hard. And I'm going to take a guess here, guys, but it is just a guess. Don't follow me. Don't do a punt. Just make your own decision on this one because I'm telling you now, I don't know who's going to win this game. Tuning in for the predictions in the first game, he's like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go Melbourne purely because of Craig Bellamy. That's it. Okay, so that's it. It's nothing to do with these players on the park. I just have a feeling that Craig Bellamy will just do what he does. Like, I think Broncos have beaten Melbourne 4 times in the past 15 years or something like that. It's something absurd like that, and haven't beaten them since like 2014. Something ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm picking Melbourne just because of that. I don't know if they're going to win, guys. All right, so let's go Seagulls, West Tigers. Let's just brush over this one. Bit of a nothing game, but again, it's a nothing game. But Kohler last week, like 300 and something meters, freak. Absolute freak. I love watching Saab in full flight too, and I'm liking keeping an eye on Jesse Arthurs and little Vega. Fuck, he's good to watch, man, and Simply's been good. So, and I'm actually enjoying watching Tigers play too, guys. So, as much as it is a nothing game, it should be a pretty good game of footy still. I'm going to go the Manly West Tigers. The Manly Seagulls, and I really enjoyed watching them play without Schuster in there. He was just, he's an anchor on that team. Not a good anchor, like an anchor that's holding you back, sort of thing. Actually, I really loved watching this kid play too, man. He was so good seeing his whole family there, and he had his big grin on, and he kicked a goal, and it was cool, man. It was really, really cool, and yeah, but I think the West Seagulls should be able to get that one. Now, onto a big one. Oh, I wish everyone was playing in this. I wish Latrell was playing. I wish JWH was playing. Come on, man. This could have been like a movie. Instead, we've got... Still going to be a dope game of footy, let's be real. Like, it doesn't matter who pulls that jersey on. The stakes that are there, the rivalry that's there. This is going to be a pretty damn good game of footy. But we just got robbed of what could have been something crazy. It still could be, but you guarantee it would have been if JWH Latrell were there. And Jacob Host out too. And so is Havili. He's actually pretty handy for them. He comes off the bench, and I saw our podcast the other day, and they're talking about he's impossible to get put on his back. And they went through a bunch of tape and tried to find him get tackled onto his back. And literally it's not been done. Havili has never been put on his back. Of course he probably would have been, but he's so strong. He's Tongan beast. He's the sort of dude I just hate to tackle. Like, people go talk about big blokes. like being hard to tackle, mate. Bro, they're not that hard to tackle. You get them in the right. Some of the, especially when they're a bit taller, there's plenty of spots you can hit them and get them, and you can use leverage to get them onto their back. Those little nuggets with the big heads and the big knees and thighs, big hips, big ass, hell to that. Joey Marnie on Graham, Billy Smith on Tad. This is still going to be pretty damn. It was funny. I was so disappointed, and then I opened the team list, and I was like, oh man, there's still some pretty damn good players in here. Good to see Fletcher Baker in the starting team. He's going to the Broncos next year. It's sort of Flegler's replacement, so that should be pretty interesting. Let's have a quick look at the odds. So yeah, okay, that's where I'd probably. It's weird because when I think of the Rabbitohs, I still sort of see them as like a really, really good team. Like, because I was so impressed with them in the middle of the year, I was actually like, oh, Penrith might be in trouble. And then they've just been not close to that since. But I still sort of see them in that they're really good. Whereas the shine of the Roosters is gone for me, if that makes sense. I see them as like a mid sort of team. I don't know why. You know, you can't help but think that sometimes. It's just like team loses their aura sort of thing. Like I was worried about Tavita's there. Shaq Mitchell's been actually pretty damn good. Jai Arrow's still there. Let's have a look. I bet you these stats are all real even. 52% win rate, 74% completion rate for both teams. Tackle efficiency 87. Wow, I didn't think they'd be identical. That is ridiculous. So pretty much Bunny's a little better at scoring tries this year, and defense is pretty similar. Yeah, this is tough, man. I think Campbell could do a good job of locking down Manu. Isaac. Cody Walker. I'm going to go Bunnies. I just think I think Taster's handy enough. I think Cody Walker, if he's on, if these guys can get a bit of momentum, Totola's super underrated, and now that he's starting, Keon on Wong, Nat Butcher on Ketchu, they cancel each other out. Cook's better than Brandon. Yeah, I'm gonna go Bunnies in this one, guys, but with not a ton of confidence. They've had all the drama. This is their time to sort of step up, and this game could be really who keeps their cool. You know what I mean? And if Jared was in there, it could almost be a bad thing, but not because he's a bad player, just obviously a good chance he'll lose his cool. Yeah, I just see, obviously, even though it's not like Cody Walker is super elite, but I just see Cody Walker being far superior to all three of these players. That's a big advantage for me. Good defensive centre on Joey. Yeah, I think the forward pack, Lindsay Collins is probably better than everyone here, but then Totola's better than him, Keon's better than... Yeah, I'm going to go Bunnies, guys. I'm going to go Bunnies there. I think in a tight one, and geez, I can't wait. And again, guys, was 5% confidence. Don't copy that like in a bet or anything like that. If you want to chuck it in as your tips, I'm probably confident enough that they would get it there, but... Yeah. All right, on to the Warriors versus the Dolphins. Damn. All right, so Warriors are resting a bunch of players again. Not again, for the first time. I think this is hard. And this is the thing with resting players. It's like, it is a double-edged sword. Like, they're not going to get injured. And sometimes, I feel like the Warriors they've been getting by, but I feel like they might have... Like, for example, Penrith, I'm not saying they weren't trying to win games at the start of the year, but they're not going to really front load all their energy on trying to gather every single win they can at the start of the year because they know they're going to be there at the end. Warriors at the start of the year were literally trying to bank wins because they got like 5 last year sort of thing, and obviously the coach is going to throw the kitchen sink at it because, you know, new coach, you know, like you go on a bad streak, you could be out of there, especially the Warriors. So, yeah, obviously, I feel like they were not fading, just not quite as energetic, sort of thing. But then, obviously, you want to be carrying momentum into the finals as well. With Tamari Martin coming in, I actually would have liked to see them, like Johnson and him together, for a game before the finals. But at the same time, I totally get the rest. I think this was Warriors resting players. There's positives and negatives to doing both. and it's just pick whichever one, whichever negatives you're more happy to live with. But I would have loved to see Tamari Martin. He's obviously been out for a long time. Have a nice, good game. It would have been almost... captain hindsight now to put him in instead of Metcalf last week. Metcalf wouldn't have got injured, and then they would have had a game together anyway. But this is pretty crazy. This one, it should be pretty good. But like I said, it's still a great forward pack. Bunty, Lussick, Mitch Barnett's still there. Curran, Nakora, Dylan Walker. Yeah, it's still Dylan Walker at locker. Cool. We'll have to wait and see, guys. But I think Wayne Bennett will get the Dolphins up for this one, and the Dolphins season to me has been a success. Like, I had them winning 3 or 4 games, sort of thing. So, but at the same time, how many games have they lost recently? They lost 5. Yeah, if they just end the season with 5, 6, 7 losses in a row, it's sort of like it just takes a bit away from it. If they can finish on a high, they certainly will, and I actually really think the Dolphins will be up for this one. I really do. I think if Dolphins can win this game, they'll finish the year extremely happy. Like, they're like, all right, cool. We didn't play finals, we didn't do this, but no one said we could. We finished. So if they win this game, they'll probably 22. They could finish 13th or 12th or whatever. In and around here, it's like everyone had them last. Coming 12th out of 17 is not too bad. But if they lose and say Doggies win or something, they're pretty much locked at 14th. But you get what I'm saying. Like, it would be a nice little win to cap off the year, and they could hit Mad Monday pretty happy. Going, you know what? Like, obviously we would have liked to finish higher, but this is a pretty good crack for our first year. Not only that, with the Dolphins, man, like They got their depth tested heavily, like more than a lot of teams. Like, they lost, their best forward, Tommy Gilbert. They had their half gone for half the time. Like, it was just such a good effort from the Dolphins, man. And like I said, a win here would really cop off. Like, that would literally be like they'll be bummed, but then looking at it after a week and the first week or two, they'll be like, you know what, that was actually pretty damn good effort. We'll get some pretty gun players coming next year. We've got something to build on, sort of thing. So, yeah, it's pretty solid. And Warriors, like I said, I would have loved to see everyone play this weekend, but at the same time, it's I get why they're resting their players. Oh, Penrith Cowboys. I've said this, man. When Penrith lost to Parramatta last week, I had all these Cowboys supporters going, "This is so good for the Cowboys," and I was like, "What? This is the worst thing that could have happened to the Cowboys." Because I promise you now, Penrith are absolutely not going to be resting any players. I didn't think they were going to anyway, but they are not going into the finals on a 2-game skid. Like, that is just ridiculous. Like, all their players have been rested all time anyway. They're not going to rest them again and then go into the finals on a 2-game skid. That was, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was never going to happen. So I was cracking up, man. I was like, man, this is terrible for the Cowboys. So they're pretty much full strength. I mean, Jerome Luai's out, so Cogger comes in. So left edge. Now, they keep naming Tago, but if he plays, Jesus Christ, this could be ugly. I mean, look, Cowboys have a good team, but they've last week against the Dolphins was their 4th away win of the year. They're going to Penrith coming off a loss. They're going to a Penrith where everyone said, oh, they're not premiership threat anymore. Broncos are the main favourites now. Everyone's writing them off. It's just, and Ivan Cleary, is going to want to hit a bit of, because their attack looked a bit clunky last week, especially when Luai went off. Sort of thing. So, I think this could be a statement game for Penrith. Like, this is the thing, Penrith know and Cleary knows and everything like that. If Penrith come here and put 30 on the Cowboys, everyone forgets that Penrith lost and go, oh, that's right, Penrith are just really good. I mean, Parramatta are just really good at beating Penrith. Penrith are still Penrith. We have to beat Penrith, which is what I've been saying. I'm like, Parramatta can't play for you. You have to beat Penrith. So yeah, this could get ugly. But at the same time, I do think Cowboys can win. This is how, like, actually, yeah, okay, I'll explain it. So Penrith have been relatively slow starters, right? And one of the reasons why Parramatta have been good at beating Penrith is if you've ever been around the Penrith boys or you hear them talk. So I actually listened to this and I heard this a million times. Check this out. It's actually really good. The Ice with Nathan Cleary. It's like it's just like a podcast. They're just talking about it. It came out 2 days ago, but it was actually really good watch because I'd never really heard him speak before. Just candidly, like you hear him in post conferences and all that, but you don't really get the real Cleary there. So I was pretty interested to see what his mindset was about, and I already knew this, but the word processes came out of his mouth so much, and how Parramatta managed to beat Penrith is they jump them early, they offload them, and what they do is they then make Penrith play outside their processes to try and win, and that's why their attack looks clunky because they're outside their processes. So if Cowboys want to beat Penrith, I need to see 2 tries out of them in the first 12 minutes. If they're not ahead by 12 within 15 minutes of the game starting, I don't think they can win because I don't think they'll be able to grind out a win against Penrith, sort of thing. And the other problem is too, and this is a massive problem, that's how they can. They're going to have to almost knock them out early and then make them play outside their processes and make Cleary, try and do stuff he doesn't normally do and all that sort of stuff. Now, the problem with the Cowboys is, and why I don't see them winning, is for 2 things. Number one, this is do or die for them. If they lose, they're out. It is really hard to play like that when your season's on the line. Like, this is why Penrith are so good in finals, because Parramatta did that in a club game, but now it's finals. It's like, man, we can't just be pegging offloads and playing or kicking on the second for a winger and doing all this crazy stuff in the final, because we could look, you know what I mean? Like, they could pump us and they'll damage, like take advantage of all our mistakes and stuff like that. And if it doesn't come off, I'll get hooked. You know what I mean? It's like and Cowboys, more than likely, I imagine they're probably going to play relatively within their structures and stuff like that. I don't see them going right outside the box to do that sort of stuff, but they're just going to have to. But yeah, the big problem for me is Cowboys is they've been, since they were still in their winning streak, but when they played Manly, I'm telling you, the second they were just starting to fade, and they've been fading. Even in that last game against the Dolphins, first half brilliant, but the second half against a depleted Dolphins team, 10-all, and it was actually pretty good. Like, it was some of the best 80-minute effort I've seen from them in a while, but it was substantially down on energy than it was in the start, minus a few players. Cotter was still energetic, Drinkwater was still energetic, Laybutt was actually still pretty energetic. But yeah, you could just line speed everything just a little slower and stuff like that. So, and the problem with that is Penrith they're the best final 15-minute team in the comp, and it's not close. Like, their last 15 minutes of the game is actually better than their first 50. It's actually ridiculous how good they are at the end of a rugby league game. Like, I'd love to see the stat on for and against in the last 15 minutes. It's I'm not saying Penrith score a ridiculous amount of tries in the last 15 minutes, but they don't concede them. Like, they just, it's actually insane. Like, they defend, even if they're winning by 12 plus, they defend in the last minute of a game like they did in the first. It's insane. So, like I said, I think they're going to have to put them on their back early. I want to see 2 tries in the first 12 minutes, and if I don't see the Cowboys winning. So, I might even punt on this one live. And yeah, like I said, if I don't see a 12-point head start in 12 minutes, I'll probably be chucking everything I have on the pen. No, I won't do that. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have a look at the team stats quickly, guys. All right, so Penrith obviously coming off a loss. You don't see too many of these L's in a row. The mighty Penrith Panthers, 2 from 5 for Penrith. I mean, Dolphins, yeah, like I said, it's a good win. This is a good win too against the Eels, but like I said, very, very poor second half. Wins this season, 74% to 52. Completion rate, it's actually come up substantially, which is good. This was in the low 70s earlier in the year. Penrith is still better. Tackle efficiency better from Penrith. But yeah, this is the main, huge stat difference right here. 13 points conceded, which is 2 tries to nearly 4. Penrith could hold you to 2 tries. So the question is, can you hold them to 2 tries? Probably not. No, that's what very good win rate at this venue. And yeah, that's actually a little better than I would have thought. 8 from 19. But yeah, this is going to be a tough task for the Cowboys. Like I said, Penrith losing last week was the worst thing that could have happened. Because if Penrith won, they might go, you know what, we're good. We got this all locked down. We're sweet. Let's rest everyone. But it was just like, yeah, like I said, Cleary doesn't want to go into and they've been resting players, staggering resting players the whole game. So a big last hit out before the finals is, yeah, just what the doctor ordered. Now on to this one. This is interesting. Dragons versus Knights. So Knights rested Gagai, Ponga, Phoenix Crossland, and Tyson Fritzell. Oh man, I honestly think that the Dragons are going to win this. I mean, that's a good matchup. Lomax on best. I was about to say Sully. Sully's been amazing. Like, he's been really good. Ravalawa. Oh man, some good matchups here. I actually think, honestly, I feel like Clune's been getting in the way a little bit, but doing such a good job for a fill-in. Dragons finished pretty good. Like they beat Broncos to sort of end their their season last year. Jack DeBellum back. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Dragons. Just not because I think they're better or anything. I just think with Ponga out, they're going to lose a bit of that electricity. You know, Lockie's he can get sort of found out. Phoenix Crossland's been brilliant. Tyson Frizzell, that edge. Who's filling in for him? Dylan Lucas and Brodie Jones. Not too bad. That Dylan Lucas is pretty good. And then just missing Gagai as well. Yeah, I'm going to take Dragons here, but not with a ton of confidence. But I think they're going to want to, they've been pretty solid. I've been pretty impressed with them. So I'm going to take the Drags. Up the Drags. Ground the ball in goal. Stop trying to be. You're young. You haven't earned the right to do that sort of dumb stuff yet, Sloan. Jesus Christ. Bulldogs, Titans. Onto the net. No, no. I think the Titans get this one. I mean, Tavita Pangai out. See you later. Off to boxing. That's his last. Had his last game last week. Ockenball's still getting a run somehow. Yeah, they've been awful. I mean, let's have a look. Titans have been pretty average this year. They've showed a bit of ticker and stuff like that. But let's compare their stats and see, because someone told me the other day that Bulldogs improved on last year. But I mean, completion rate 75%, pretty damn bad. Tackle efficiency, I'm actually surprised how high that is. They seem to miss way more tackles than that. Maybe it's because they do a lot of tackling. But look at this, man. Average points conceded, 31. That's insane. What's that? 5 tries. Concede 5 tries a game. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. We'll go overs in this game, eh? What are the overs? Let's have a quick look. Alright, so if the overs are less than 50, I'll be taking them. Total match points, where are you? I can never find this one when I need it quickly. Total match points. Over 53, Jesus Christ. So yeah, the bookies don't get it wrong too often. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Titans. Let's not talk about them too much. Now, oh man, I'm so gutted Horsburgh's not playing. Now, you know what I'd love to see here is Horsburgh's out, right? I'd 100% be putting Jackie White in at lock, like for sure, as just a running lock through the middle. You already got your half sorted. I'd be putting Croker in here. Let Croker have a run. He's not going to let you down. Put it that way. I actually liked him in the centres, Jack Whiten, but I think now that the problem, and I had a few chats with Canberra people, and they were like, the reason why they didn't like, my idea of putting Jackie in at lock, it wasn't because they didn't think he'd be a great lock, it's because they had Horsburgh. He's not playing now. Put Croker in at lock at 3, and put Whitehead in here. I think not White. Whiten in here. And then I think that strengthens up your middle. Oh, if Croker's on the bench, it's strange. And then you don't have to carry him on the bench. You can bring Hopewadi in or something, I don't know. Bring someone else in, I don't know who you want on the bench. But, yeah, that's personally what I'd be doing. You're telling me you can't match it with McInnes, and, he's a good line speed on Ueli and stuff like that. He can get in the face of Rudolph and, show real good line speed and all this sort of stuff. I think it would really to me, one thing about Canberra is their middle's good, but it's not fast. Like, you look at the Broncos pack, right? Like, yeah, Fleggs and Payne Haas, they're not lightning quick, but they're pretty quick for big men. But then you got Carrigan shooting up at the line, putting shots on. You have, Ricky and those guys just jam. Like, you know what I mean? There's speed in the middle. You need a bit of size is great, and I'm not saying don't have it, but a bit of speed in the middle would really help. I've always liked a nice, a lock with Finucane used to do it quite good for Melbourne and for the Sharks, just nice, good line speed, punch through the middle, because, yeah, they're a little slow. Like Tarpany beast, but he's not lightning quick. And then obviously Papali'i's normally I dare say, slow sort of thing. Gula's, not a fast man either. So, yeah, I'd much prefer Jackie in there at lock, but we'll have to wait and see. But did I do my pick for Penrith? Yeah, I did. So Penrith's going to win. Bulldogs. But man, this is going to be a cracking game for real. Nico Hines back. So I really can see nice. I really can see I can see Sharks putting a big score on them, eh? Lost last week. They're going to want to hit some form. I just see, like, other than Wade Graham, like, and I love this bench rotation too. Like, I love Royce Hunt and Tom Hazelton. Like, they don't really lose anything in the middle at all when he comes on. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I'm just looking through Canberra, and I see a very good rugby league team. I'm just trying to find ways for them to win, and when you do that, they usually lose. Like, I always say this, like, people lose heaps of money on sports bet and stuff like that when they bet on their team, and I always say, like, to my friends and that, when they're like, say they're an outsider or whatever, but they go for the team that's an outsider. Like, say you're a Canberra fan, right, and they're paying $3 to win. If you're like, oh yeah, but if we like, if we can just, I'm like, if you have to start looking for ways they can win, like, they'll probably lose, if that makes sense. Like, and I'm sitting here going, oh, how could they win here? I'm like, well, Ramian and White, and it's not like a huge mismatch. I mean, I see more mismatches in Sharks' favour anyway. I mean, Connor Trace has been freaky. But yeah, we'll have to look at the stats before I make my exact pick. How have they gone last time? So Canberra got them last time. Who played in this one? Team list. Sebastian Chris was there. Will Kennedy. Oh, pardon me. Oh, no, Nico Hines. There you go. No, Nico. Okay. But yeah, we'll have to no Papali as well, obviously. Raiders got them again. Jeez, Sharkies, what are you doing? Both coming off a loss. Both had 13 wins this year. Completion rate both around 75%. Tackle efficiency, so pretty even year, man. It's just Raiders obviously conceding a few more points, and like Sharkies have been conceding plenty as well. But I think this number here, I just think the Sharkies can probably score more points than the Raiders can. I definitely see more points in the Sharkies. With Nico, like, Nico loves a short side raid. Like, he really does. He gets down that short side so nice, and yeah, that could be a big factor. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sharkies, guys. And I don't know by how much or whatever, but who's down the right side? 5. Tomoko and Kotrick. Yeah, I'll go Sharkies in this one. All right, so let's have a quick look. So we'll go Storm, again, with just zero confidence, guys. We'll go Sea Eagles, we'll go Bunnies, we'll go Dolphins, we'll go Panthers, we'll go Dragons, we'll go Titans, we'll go... Geez, all the home teams. Except for Melbourne Storm, Suncorp is their home. We'll have just a quick look at the casualty ward, guys, just to see when players are back as well. So, Carrigan week 1, Reynolds week 1, Katoni Staggs week 1, so that's great. Who else we got? So we got... Now, this just says finals for Val Holmes. Was it week 1? I'm not too sure. I can't really remember. Nanai finals as well, and it just says finals for these guys, so I'm not too sure. Maybe... Yeah, I can't remember about Val, whether it was week 2. It was a pretty big suspension, I remember that. Who else we got, guys? So, Fitzgibbon, round 27, so he should be back for finals. Same as Hastings, Ponga, week 1 of finals. So, a lot of this hasn't been updated yet. Tango, round 27, so he does say he's fine. And Luai, week 3 of the finals. There you go. Wow, Jerome. Interesting. And Tiny May, who else got Latrell, week 1 of the finals if they make it. Fogarty, he's playing. Manu hamstring. Oh, so yeah, so Manu's playing as well. That's another thing. I actually forgot to mention that in my preview for that. Like his hamstring could go in the first minute of this. Like we don't know. It's Turpin back, head knock. So Nico Hines, 27. So yeah, it looks like Will Kennedy finals for Nukin next season. All right, so Melbourne, here we go. Week 1 of finals, they've named Hughes. Harry Grant, week 1 of finals. Yeah, so, okay, Warriors, here we go. Barnett, yeah, so he's been named. And Warriors have quite a few out, eh? Like, no one ever gives the Warriors... Like, you know, I remember people come, oh, man, like, my team's so injured. I'm like, Warriors have been coming third and they've got heaps of injuries, man. No one gives Warriors any love, eh? It's crazy. All right, guys, that's it. Bring it on. Like I said, guys, won't be a ton of shorts and TikToks this weekend. I'll do a few, but like nothing crazy like I normally do. I'll just probably just have a bit of a break and relax, enjoy the footy, get everything ready for week 1 of the finals. Let's go. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. And like I said, make sure you're subbing. We're getting close, man. I want that 3K before the finals. I want that 3K, man. I want that 3 next to my name. I want that 3 there, son. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.